The news traveled across the galaxy faster than any ship could fly. Within hours, every alien species knew what had happened at Tau Ceti. The Vorthik Third Fleet, one of the most feared military forces in known space, had been completely destroyed by a single human ship. At first, many aliens thought it was a lie. The humans were too primitive, too weak, but the evidence was overwhelming. Wreckage from over 200 Vorthik ships floated in space around the human colonies. Admiral Kresh was dead. His flagship had been erased from existence by a weapon no one had ever seen before. On the Galactic Council Station, emergency meetings were called. Alien leaders who had been laughing at humans just days before were now very quiet, very worried that the bug-like Zephyrian ran calculations on its computers. The numbers did not make sense. No single ship should have been able to destroy an entire fleet. But the humans had done it. Synthesis of light, the floating light being, tried to understand how they had been so wrong about human technology. For thousands of years, the Luminar had been the wisest race in the galaxy. They were supposed to know everything about every species. But they had completely missed the truth about humans. In the council chamber, Jake Morrison sat in his chair and watched the aliens argue. But this time, they were not arguing about whether humans deserved respect. They were arguing about how to apologize without losing face. The human ship used unknown technology, the Zephyrian said. Our analysis shows weapons that should not exist. Energy shields that can stop our most powerful attacks. We must revise our understanding of human capabilities. The Vorthik made a mistake, Synthesis of Light said. They underestimated a dangerous enemy. We should not repeat their error. Jake stood up. The room became quiet. Every alien in the chamber turned to look at him. Honored members of the council, Jake said. His voice was calm and polite. I have received new instructions from my government. What instructions? Asked the Zephyrian. Earth is willing to discuss peace terms, Jake said. But there are conditions. Conditions? Synthesis of Light asked. What conditions? First, Jake said, all human colonies will be returned to human control immediately. No alien military forces will be allowed in human space without permission. That is reasonable, the Zephyrian said quickly. Second, Jake continued, Earth will be granted full membership in the Galactic Council, with voting rights and full participation in all decisions. Of course, Synthesis of Light said. We welcome human membership. Third, Jake said, any species that threatens human lives or human territory will face the consequences. We will not ask for permission to defend ourselves. The aliens looked at each other. They understood what Jake was really saying. Humanity had shown its strength. Now it was making the rules. These terms are acceptable, the Zephyrian said. Very acceptable. Synthesis of Light agreed. Jake smiled. I will transmit your acceptance to Earth. I am sure President Carter will be pleased. But Jake was not finished. There is one more thing, he said. The Vorthik Empire will formally surrender. All of their remaining fleets will stay out of human space. They will pay compensation for the damage they caused to our colonies. The Vorthik are a proud species, Synthesis of Light said. They may not agree to surrender. Then they will join Admiral Kresh, Jake said simply. The message was clear. The Vorthik could surrender, or they could be destroyed. There was no third option. Within a day, the Vorthik Empire sent a message to Earth. They formally surrendered. They agreed to pay compensation. They promised to stay away from human space forever. Other alien species that had been planning to attack human colonies quietly changed their minds. The Creel Empire, which had been building up forces near human territory, suddenly moved their ships to the other side of their space. The Nexus Collective, which had been talking about claiming human mining asteroids, announced they had no interest in human resources. Captain Alex Hunter brought the Titan back to Earth as a hero. Crowds gathered at the spaceport to see the mighty ship that had defeated an entire alien fleet. Children pointed at the massive hull and asked their parents if it was real, but Alex knew the truth. The Titan was just the beginning. In secret shipyards around the solar system, more ships were being built. Bigger ships, better ships, ships that would make the Titan look small. Dr. Simon Wells stood in his laboratory and looked at the blueprints for the next generation of human warships. The Titan had been a test, a proof of concept. Now they could build even more powerful weapons. How many? President Carter asked during a secret meeting. 50 ships like the Titan, Dr. Wells said, plus new weapons we are developing. Planets killers, star destroyers, things that will make the aliens think twice about ever threatening us again. And the aliens? President Carter asked. What are they doing? Watching us, General Brooks said. Every day, we detect their spy ships at the edge of our space. They are trying to figure out how we became so powerful so quickly. Let them watch, President Carter said. Let them wonder. Fear is better than respect. On the alien worlds, scientists studied the battle recordings from Tau Ceti. They tried to understand how human weapons worked, how human shields could be so strong, how one ship could destroy so many, but they could not figure it out. Human technology was different from anything they had seen before. It was based on principles they did not understand. The Zephyrian Collective sent scholars to study human history. They learned about human wars, about how humans had been fighting each other for thousands of years, about how they had developed weapons of incredible destruction. They are not like us, the lead scholar reported. Other species develop technology to explore space, to build cities, to make life easier. Humans develop technology to kill each other more efficiently. And now they are using that technology against us, the collective leader said. Yes, the scholar said, and they are very good at it. The Luminar tried to use their ancient wisdom to understand humanity. They meditated on the nature of war. They studied the flow of energy through the galaxy, but they could not find answers. Perhaps, one ancient Luminar said, we have been wrong about the nature of strength. We thought strength came from age and wisdom, but perhaps it comes from something else. What? Asked another. Desperation, the ancient one said. The willingness to do anything to survive. Humans have that quality. We do not. Years passed. The galaxy became a different place. Humans expanded their territory. They built new colonies. They explored new star systems. And everywhere they went, they were treated with respect, not because they were wise like the Luminar, not because they were ancient like the Zephyrians, but because they were dangerous, because they had proven that they could and would fight when threatened. The Galactic Council became a place of cooperation instead of domination. Decisions were made by discussion, not by force, because everyone knew that if they tried to use force, the humans would respond with overwhelming violence. Jake Morrison became the first human to hold a leadership position in the council. He was elected by unanimous vote. No one wanted to run against him. In his acceptance speech, Jake said something that became famous across the galaxy. We did not want to be feared. We wanted to be friends. But if we must choose between friendship and survival, we will choose survival every time. The age of human expansion had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Captain Alex Hunter stood on the bridge of the Titan and watched the stars move past the big window. His ship was traveling faster than light, heading toward the Tau Ceti system where the alien fleet waited. In 6 hours, they would arrive. In 6 hours, everything would change. Alex had been training for this moment for 5 years. He knew every button on his ship. He knew every weapon. He knew the names of all 300 crew members who worked under him. They were the best humans had to offer. Pilots, engineers, soldiers, and scientists. all of them ready to fight. "Captain," said Lieutenant Kate Sullivan from her station, "we are getting close to the target system. Should I begin the final checks?" "Yes," Alex said. "Make sure everything is working perfectly. We will only get one chance at this." Kate was the best communications officer in the human fleet. She could speak 12 different languages and understand alien radio signals. She had been chosen for this mission because she was smart and calm under pressure. "Sir," said Commander Bill Thompson from the weapons station, "all gun systems are ready. The equalizer is charged and waiting for your order." Bill was older than most of the other officers. He had gray hair and deep lines around his eyes. He had fought in 3 wars before the aliens came. He knew how to kill, and he was very good at it. "What about the shields?" Alex asked. "Full power," said Engineer Lucy Morgan. "The generators are running at maximum capacity. We can take anything they throw at us." Lucy was young, only 25 years old, but she was brilliant. She had helped design the Titan's shield system. She knew it better than anyone. The bridge was quiet, except for the hum of the engines. Alex could feel the power of his ship around him. 12 kilometers of metal and weapons and human technology. The aliens had no idea what was coming for them. "Captain," Kate said, "we are receiving a message from Earth. President Carter wants to speak with you." The main screen lit up with the president's face. She looked tired but determined. "Alex, are you ready?" "Yes, ma'am," Alex said. "The Titan is ready for battle." "Remember," President Carter said, "we are not just fighting for the colonies. We are fighting for the future of our species. Show them what humans are capable of." "I will not let you down," Alex said. The screen went dark. Alex looked around at his crew. They were all watching him, waiting for his orders. "Attention all hands," Alex said into the ship's communication system. "This is Captain Hunter. In a few hours, we will face the alien fleet. They think we are weak. They think we are primitive. Today, we prove them wrong." The Titan dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Tau Ceti system. Immediately, alarms began to ring on alien ships throughout the system. The Vorthic fleet had been waiting for human cargo ships, or maybe a small group of fighters. They were not expecting this. "Sir," Kate said, "I am reading over 200 alien ships. 3 dreadnoughts, 50 cruisers, and the rest are destroyers and fighters." "That is a lot of firepower," Bill said. "Not enough," Alex said. "Open a channel to the alien fleet." "Channel open, sir." Alex's voice went out across space to every alien ship in the system. "This is Captain Alex Hunter of the United Earthship Titan. You are occupying human territory illegally. You have one chance to leave peacefully." The response came quickly. It was Admiral Kresh, the same alien who had laughed at Jake Morrison in the council meeting. His voice was full of anger and disbelief. "One ship?" Kresh said. "You send one? Ship against my entire fleet? Your species truly has lost its mind." "Admiral," Alex said calmly, "you have 30 seconds to begin your withdrawal. This is your only warning." Kresh's laughter filled the bridge. "Warning? You dare threaten me? I have more firepower than your entire planet. I will turn your ship into dust, and then I will visit Earth. Perhaps humans will learn to respect their betters." "Time's up," Alex said. He cut the communication and turned to his crew. "Battle stations. Show them what the Titan can do." The alien fleet began to move. Over 200 ships formed into attack formation. Their weapons started to glow with energy. Plasma cannons charged. Missile tubes loaded. Energy shields activated. "They are preparing to fire," Kate reported. "Let them." Alex said, "Lucy, are our shields ready?" "Yes, sir." "Full power." "Bill, target their command ship. The big one in the center." "Locked on, sir." The alien fleet opened fire. Hundreds of energy beams and missiles flew through space toward the Titan. The night sky lit up like a fireworks show. Enough firepower to destroy a small moon was heading. Straight for the human ship. Alex watched the weapons approach on his screen. He did not look worried. His crew was nervous, but they trusted him. They trusted their ship. The alien weapons hit the Titan's shields. The bridge shook slightly. Warning lights flashed for a moment, and everything went quiet. "Damage report," Alex said. "No damage, sir," Lucy said. "Shields holding at 98%. On the alien ships, sensors showed something impossible. The human ship was still there, still whole, still undamaged. The combined firepower of the entire Vorthic fleet had barely scratched its shields. "Impossible," Admiral Kresh said over the radio. "Nothing can survive that much firepower." "Admiral," Alex said, "you thought you knew us. You were wrong. Now let me show you what human weapons can do." The Titan's guns came online. First, the point defense systems. Thousands of small laser cannons that could target individual missiles. And fighters. Then the main batteries. Magnetic accelerators that could launch chunks of metal at incredible speeds. "Fire," Alex said. The space around the Titan lit up with weapons fire. Not the pretty colored beams that the aliens used, but streams of white-hot metal moving so fast they turned into plasma. The Titan's guns could fire continuously without stopping. Alien ships began to explode. First the small fighters. Then the destroyers. The humans had studied alien ship designs for years. They knew exactly where to hit to cause maximum damage. "Shields. Down on the enemy flagship," Bill reported. "Permission to use the equalizer?" Alex looked at the alien fleet. Half of them were already destroyed or disabled. The rest were trying to run away. But it was too late for that. "Fire the equalizer," Alex said. The Titan's main weapon charged up. Energy collected in the front of the ship. Space itself began to bend and twist. Then a beam of pure destruction shot out toward Admiral Kresh's ship. The alien dreadnought simply disappeared. Not exploded, not destroyed, just gone. Erased from existence. The battle was over. Jake Morrison's ship landed at the military base in Colorado 3 days after he left the Alien Council. The moment he stepped out, 2 soldiers in dark uniforms were waiting for him. They did not smile or shake his hand. "Ambassador Morrison," the taller soldier said, "President Carter is waiting for you. Please come with us." They drove through the desert for an hour. The road was empty except for their black car. No other vehicles. No people. Just rocks and sand and mountains in the distance. The car stopped. At a building that looked like a normal office. Nothing special about it. But Jake noticed the guards at the door carried weapons he had never seen before. The weapons hummed with energy. Inside, the building was much bigger than it looked from outside. They went down in an elevator for a long time. Jake counted the floors. 20, 30, 40. The elevator kept going down. When the doors opened, Jake saw a room full of people in military uniforms. Maps covered the walls. Computer screens showed numbers and charts. Everyone looked serious and worried. President Lisa Carter stood at the center of the room. She was a small woman with gray hair, but everyone in the room watched her when she moved. She had been president for 6 years. She had led Earth through the first contact with alien races. "Jake," she said when she saw him, "tell us what happened." Jake told them about the meeting. About Admiral Kresh and the other aliens. About how they laughed when he asked for help. About how they said humans were too weak to protect themselves. 2 million people, President Carter said when he finished. "They took 2 million of our people, and the council said it was fine. They think we are children," Jake said. They think our ships are toys and our weapons are sticks. A man in a white coat stepped forward. He was thin and had wild gray hair. "My name is Dr. Simon Wells," he said. "I run a special project for the government. We have been waiting for this day." "What kind of project?" Jake asked. Dr. Wells smiled. It was not a nice smile. "The kind that will make those aliens stop laughing." President Carter nodded to Dr. Wells. "Show him." They walked through more hallways, past more guards, past doors with warning signs that Jake could not read. Finally, they came to a massive room with a window that looked out into a cave. The cave was huge, bigger than any building Jake had ever seen. And inside the cave, something was being built. It was a ship, but not like any ship Jake had ever seen. It was long and dark and covered in metal that seemed to move in the light. Workers in special suits crawled over it like ants. Sparks flew from welding tools. Giant machines moved pieces of metal the size of buildings. "How long?" Jake asked. His voice was very quiet. 12 years, Dr. Wells said. "We started building it the day after we made first contact with the aliens. We knew this day would come." "The aliens have seen our cargo ships," President Carter said. "They have seen our mining equipment and our diplomatic vessels. They think that is all we have." General Ryan Brooks walked up to them. He was a big man with scars on his face. He had fought in wars before the aliens came. "They have no idea what humans can do when we are truly threatened," he said. "What is it?" Jake asked, still looking at the massive ship. "We call it the Titan." Dr. Wells said, "It is 12 kilometers long. Its weapons can destroy a planet. Its shields can stop anything the aliens can throw at us." "One ship?" Jake asked. "One ship," General Brooks said. "But it is not just any ship. It is the most powerful weapon ever built by human hands." Dr. Wells pointed to different parts of the ship. "See those arrays on the sides? Each one has 1,000 laser cannons. They can target 1,000 different enemies at the same time." "And those big guns on top?" General Brooks added. "They can shoot pieces of metal so fast they turn into plasma when they hit their target. But the real weapon," Dr. Wells said, "is something we call the equalizer. It can tear apart the fabric of space itself." Jake stared at the ship. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "How many people know about this?" "Less than 100, President Carter said. "We have been very careful. The aliens think they are watching us, but they are only seeing what we want them to see." "The Vorthik have over 200 ships at Tau Ceti," Jake said. "Can one ship really fight all of them?" Dr. Wells and General Brooks looked at each other. They both smiled. "Jake," Dr. Wells said, "those aliens have been fighting the same way for thousands of years. They use the same weapons, the same tactics. They think they know everything about war. But humans," General Brooks said, "we have been fighting each other for our entire history. We know things about war that they never learned." President Carter walked to the window. "The aliens made a mistake," she said. "They thought we were weak because we asked for peace. They thought we were simple because we offered friendship. They do not understand," General Brooks said, "that humans are most dangerous when we are cornered, when our families are threatened, when our survival is at stake." "How long before the Titan is ready?" Jake asked. 3 days, Dr. Wells said. "We have been waiting for your signal. Now we have it. What about the crew?" Jake asked. "Already chosen," General Brooks said. "Captain Alex Hunter. He is the best pilot we have. He has been training for this mission for 5 years." "And the plan?" Jake asked. President Carter turned from the window. "Simple. We show the aliens what human war looks like. We show them." "What happens when they threaten our people?" "One demonstration," General Brooks said. "One battle. After that, they will never underestimate us again. Jake felt something change inside him. For 5 years, he had tried to make peace with the aliens. He had tried to find a way for humans to fit into their galaxy. He had been polite and patient and respectful. They had their chance, he said. We offered them friendship. We offered them trade. We offered them partnership. And they chose war, President Carter said. Then we will give them war, Jake said. But not the kind they expect. Dr. Wells pressed a button on the wall. Lights came on all over the massive ship. The metal skin seemed to glow. Workers moved faster. Machines worked harder. The Titan wakes up, Dr. Wells said. And when it does, the galaxy will never be the same. Jake watched the ship and thought about Admiral Kresh, about his yellow eyes and sharp teeth, about how he had laughed when Jake asked for mercy. Soon, Jake thought, we will see who is laughing. Jake Morrison sat in the cold metal chair and watched the alien creatures around the table. His human eyes moved from one strange face to another. Each one looked at him like he was a bug that had crawled into their important meeting. The big room had no windows. Blue lights came from the ceiling and made everything look sick. Jake had been coming to these meetings for 2 years now. 2 long years of trying to make these aliens understand that humans deserved a real place in the galaxy. The reptile thing across from him was called Admiral Kresh. Its yellow eyes never blinked. Its green scales caught the light when it moved. Its head. Kresh was from a race called the Vorthig. They controlled most of the military power, and this part of space. Next to Kresh sat a bug-like creature that looked like a giant ant walking on 2 legs. It had 4 arms and black eyes that seemed to see everything. The Zephyrians were smart. Too smart. They thought they knew everything about every other race in the galaxy. At the end of the table floated a being made of light. It called itself Synthesis of Light. The Luminar were old. Very old. They had been traveling between stars when humans were still living in caves. They acted like wise teachers, but Jake knew they looked down on his people, just like the others did. These 3 races controlled the Galactic Council. They made all the big decisions. They decided who could join their club and who had to stay outside looking in. Jake had been the human ambassador for 5 years. 5 years of being told that humans were too young, too simple, too primitive to be real members of the council. Earth could send 1 person to watch the meetings, but humans got no vote. They could not make suggestions. They could only sit and listen. Admiral Kresh leaned forward. His long tongue flicked out and back in. Human Morrison, he said. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. Why are you here today? We have important business to discuss. Jake stood up and placed his hands on the table. I am here because of the Tal City colonies. 3 human settlements. Nearly 2 million people live there. They have been farming and mining those planets for 20 years. Not anymore, Kresh said. His mouth opened in what might have been a smile. Rows of sharp teeth showed. The Vorthig Empire has claimed those systems. The humans there now live. Under our protection. Protection? Jake felt his face get hot. You mean control. You sent warships to surround peaceful colonies. You told families that have lived there for decades that they now belong to you. The bug creature made a clicking sound. The Zephyrian Collective has analyzed the situation, it said. Its voice was like metal scraping metal. Those systems are strategically important. The Vorthig claim is logical. Jake turned to the floating light being. Synthesis of light. Surely you see that this is wrong. These people have done nothing to hurt anyone. They grow food and mine metals. They have children and schools and hospitals. The light being pulsed slowly. Young species often struggle to understand the larger picture, it said. Its voice was like wind through leaves. The Vorthik have the strength to protect those systems. Humans do not. We never got the chance to try, Jake said. His voice was getting louder. You took our people without even talking to us first. Admiral Kresh stood up. He was much taller than Jake. His claws clicked on the table. Your species builds with metal and burns chemical fuel, he said. You are children playing with sticks, while we wield plasma and antimatter. Accept our protection, or face the consequences. Jake looked around the room. Other aliens sat at smaller tables. All of them were watching him. Some looked curious. Others looked bored. None of them looked like they cared about 2 million human lives. I am asking the council to vote, Jake said. Order the Vorthik to leave our colonies alone. Let our people live in peace. The 3 council leaders looked at each other. They did not need to speak out loud. Jake knew they could communicate in ways humans could not understand. The bug creature spoke first. The Zephyrian collective votes to support the Vorthik claim. The light beam pulsed once. The lunar communion agrees. The Vorthik action is justified. Admiral Kresh's laugh was like breaking glass. The Vorthik Empire accepts the Council's wisdom. Jake felt something cold in his stomach. You are making a mistake, he said. A big mistake. The only mistake, Kresh said, would be for your species to resist. We have seen your ships. We have studied your weapons. Your most powerful warship could not destroy one of our smallest fighters. Your technology is centuries behind ours, the bug creature added. Your military consists of metal boxes that throw explosives. We fight with energy itself. Synthesis of light floated closer to Jake. We do not wish to see humans suffer, it said, but you must understand reality. The strong protect the weak. The Vorthik are strong. Humans are weak. Jake stood very still for a long moment. He thought about his wife Sarah back on Earth. He thought about his 2 children who asked him every day when Daddy would come home. He thought about the families on Tau Ceti who are probably scared and confused right now. The Council has made its decision, he said quietly. Now Earth will make its decision. There is no decision to make, Kresh said. Submit or be destroyed. Jake picked up his small bag and walked toward the door. Every alien in the room watched him go. He could feel their eyes on his back dot at the door. He turned around last time. You think you know us, he said. You think you understand what humans are capable of. You have seen our cargo ships and our mining equipment. You have met our diplomats and our scientists. The room was very quiet now. But you have never seen us when we are truly threatened, Jake continued. You have never seen what we become when someone tries to take our families away from us. Admiral Kresh laughed again. What could you possibly do that would concern us? Jake smiled. It was not a happy smile. I guess you're about to find out. He walked out of the room and down the long hallway to his ship. His hands were shaking a little as he started the engines. The Council station grew smaller behind him as he headed for the jump point back to Earth. His message to Earth was short and simple. They have made their choice. Now we make ours. As his ship jumped into hyperspace, Jake wondered if the aliens would still be laughing in a few weeks. Somehow, he doubted it.